Right, folks, well, you just heard, obviously, the new single from FM, Better Late Than Never, and joining me on the line now is the man himself, Mr. Steve Overland. Welcome to Firebrand Rock Radio.
Thank you very much, Dan. How are you doing? You okay?
I'm doing very well indeed. It's great to get you on the show. I unfortunately missed the chance to have a chat with you at HHAOR last year. It was a bit manic, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a good night, though, wasn't it? It was really good. Well, the whole day was great, wasn't it? Brilliant.
It was really good. I managed to catch, I would say, probably about 95% of your set, thankfully.
Right. Good.
Which is... which I'm going to hold my hand up and say is actually only the second time I've ever had chance to see you guys due to work and family commitments. First time would have been at Reading Rock Festival back in, blimey, let's have a think back, 86 would that be, maybe?
Yeah, that would have been with my brother on guitar, yeah, it's got to be then. I think we did it a couple of times, and yeah, it's got to be sort of mid-80s, that, hasn't it, really? You know, what a scary thought, mate, eh? What a scary thought.
Well, it's a scary thought when you think your memory's probably better for back then than what it is from last week.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it's got to be said, you must be getting ready, ramping up now to go out on what is a superb tour, obviously, with Foreigner and Europe. I guess you're probably looking forward to this one.
Oh, it's going to be great. I mean, we've been... Since we came back in 2006, we've kind of been waiting for this sort of tour to go out across the UK, really, Dan. We've supported in Europe. We went out with Foreigner and Journey in Europe and did all the big festivals, all the arenas over there. But there just hasn't been the right bill over here, we didn't feel, for us. And having toured with Foreigner out in Europe, we got on really well. They're great guys. I mean, Mick and Kelly's a lovely guy. They all are. So I think... when they sort of thought about doing a British tour, they approached Steve, who's their agent as well, and our agent,
right,
and asked if we could do that with them. So it's worked out fantastic. And I mean, Europe are a great band too, so it's going to be a really good bill, I think. And
it's nice to see that it's what I call a proper British tour as well, not like sort of one or two dates.
No, they're actually doing... pretty much covering everywhere, aren't they? Which is pretty cool, really. I mean, as you say, these days, big American bands sort of come over and do maybe 4 big arenas with a 3-4 band bill, but Foreigner are sort of toning it down a bit, doing the theatres, which is great because we haven't done them for a long time. Obviously, back in the day, we headlined most of these places, but now, obviously, we haven't played them for a long time. So it's going to be great to go back to like the Portsmouth Guildhall and all the events. And I did the Colston Hall with Thin Lizzy a year and a half ago.
Right.
So it's going to be great to go back to some of these venues. It's going to be good fun.
Well, the other thing I need to chat to you about is, of course, the new Overland album, Epic, which comes out at almost the end of this month, the 24th, I believe.
Yeah, 24th or 25th, I think. Yeah, I think yeah.
So what made you decide to release another Overland album? Not that I'm complaining, I hasten to add.
I like doing different things, really, Dan. You know, and for me, it's a different way of writing. When I do the kind of the Overland and the Shadowman albums I do, I kind of write with different people in a different way. They send me like a backing track over, or maybe 20 backing tracks. So I go through them and maybe pick 5 or 6 from one lot of writers and maybe 4 or 5 from another lot of writers. And, you know, that's the way to do it with the Overland albums. It gives a different slant to when I write with FM, where I sit down and write the song from scratch, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Just pick up the guitar and write from scratch. So it's just something different to do, and I get to work with lots of different musicians, which is fantastic. And it just keeps the thing fresh for me, different way of working, and I enjoy it. I like doing lots of different things. I kind of do writing for other people as well. It just keeps the whole thing exciting, you know. And this particular album, I mean, I work with Mike Slamer, who's a fantastic producer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, so very good album. I'm very pleased with it, and I hope everybody else likes it too. It's had a great response so far, so that's brilliant.
Well, I think it probably should go down pretty well. I mean, let's face it, not only yourself, but obviously FM have got an incredibly loyal following.
Yeah. That's what made us come back, really, to be honest, mate. It was totally overwhelmed. We came back for one show, and they came from all over the world. We sold out the Firefest, the first time it had ever been sold out, and we couldn't believe it. There were the Greek fan club banners, FM Greek fan club. We never even knew we had a Greek fan club, and it was kind of totally overwhelming. We didn't expect the fans to have stayed that loyal to us for that long. We were away for 10 years, and to just wait until we got back together, and we just felt after that show, we didn't speak for a week. We were totally in shock. The whole band just went home. Then we phoned each other and said, look, we should do some more of these. Obviously, the people want it, and we were just totally surprised, to be honest. And you know the story since then. It's just gone from strength to strength. And,
I was going to say, what's it been, 5 years since then? And you've not exactly sort of only released one album and sort of sat back. I mean, you guys have been incredibly busy.
We have, yeah, and that's only because of the support we've had from radio, the press, the fans especially, and because it gives you that kind of incentive and enthusiasm to keep writing and keep going. I mean, to get things like, regional radio have always been really, really good to us, but with this time around, something we never had before, we've had every single we've released has been played on radio too, on Chris Evans and, Steve Wright's played it. We've had some great support from everybody, so it's kind of give us a new lease of life, really, and we're just having a great time. We take every day as it comes, but we love it. We're having a fantastic time.
Well, the critical response to Rockville and Rockville 2 was incredibly positive. I've got to say, I absolutely, I'm a fan anyway, so I suppose it's a lot easier for me, but I really, really enjoy both albums. It's just nice that you've come back with such strength, and you're not even leveling off. I think you're still rising, as it were, if that makes any sense.
Funny you should say that, because the perception of the band now, Dan, is that it's bigger than it ever was. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But as far as what we seem to be achieving in the space of time we've been back together, I would probably agree. Everything we do some of the things they come up with, the management, they're like, when they came up with doing the Indiscreet album from start to finish for the 25 live shows, I just said, I don't know about that. I'm like, it's not the right kind of album to play. It's too laid back in places. And we did it and sold all the gigs out, and it went down fantastically well. And the DVD sold fantastically well. So everything we're doing, and I don't know, it's got to be a bit of luck and fluke involved somewhere, but everything we seem to be going for and trying to do, we're achieving. So I just hope that carries on, because far from making us sort of think, well, we deserve it, we're not like that, FM. We've been around a long time, and we're actually quite shocked by the way it's just gone from strength to strength, and 2 download performances. Everything we seem to have wanted first time around is coming to us now, and I can't put my finger on why that is, but, long may it carry on. Fantastic.
Well, I certainly think you're bigger than ever. Based on the people I speak to all over the world, to be honest, who maybe were not overly familiar with you guys back in the late 80s, and now are very, very familiar with the material. And it's also great, the fact that people like Rock Candy are releasing the remastered versions of stuff. I actually bought the remastered Indiscreet a few weeks ago, simply because I love that album anyway. And what a fantastic job they've done on that as well.
Oh, unbelievable. Both of those. They did tough it out, didn't they, as well? And, that's Derek. And, he's done a great job. And we did some extra stuff for the sleeve notes, and the packaging and stuff on them is brilliant.
It makes
it, and what the extra stuff they put on, it makes it an album that's not just a straightforward sort of just put it in a different cover. It's got something different on it, and there's some versions on there that haven't been out, and the whole package on both of those is brilliant. It gives the old albums a new lease of life for people that are now discovering FM.
Exactly.
And no, great. He's done a great job. They're really well put together.
Well, going forward, after you come off the tour, I'm probably going to hazard a guess that you're already working on a new album.
We are indeed, yeah. What we did really, we sort of got to the start of the year, Dan, and we had a chat, and we said, look, I mean, it's not just the foreigner tour. We're doing a headline tour of Europe straight off the back of it. We're then talking about maybe going to America. There's been plans for that for a long time. Spain, Portugal, all the places that we're going to go back to again. So stuff maybe at the end of the year, maybe a 30th anniversary of the band tour where we play something from each album. And, you know, so we went in the studio in January. We had a bit of downtime, and the management said, why don't you make a start? We're writing all the time because that's what we love doing. Yeah. So we've already got 9 songs ready for the next record that are written and demoed. So we've got about 5 tracks down, and they're just waiting to be mixed. There's an EP coming out for the foreigner tour called Futurama, which is going to have 3 brand new songs on, a super duper mix of one of the new songs that we've sent off to be done. Right. 6 live tracks that have never been released before.
Excellent.
So it's kind of a 57-minute EP. So it's good value for money, you know.
I'll tell you what, it must be a scary thought when you think it's coming up to your 30th anniversary.
It is. It's a funny thing, you know, because I was talking to this to somebody. We did a gig in Minehead. We did the Giants of Rock thing at the weekend in Minehead, and I was just talking to one of the tour managers backstage, and I said, it's weird because it seems like yesterday. I mean, even though we had a 10-year layoff, we did nothing really. FM. I mean, we were all doing other albums, but we're still in the business. But I mean, I can still remember the Bon Jovi tour like it was yesterday. I can still remember everything. As you say, it's funny how you can remember the stuff from years back. Yeah, if you asked me something about last year's headline tour, I probably couldn't tell you, you know. Yeah. But all that early stuff, I mean, I can remember, and it seems like last week. It's funny, isn't it? You know,
absolutely.
30 years, but, you know, maybe that's a sign we've had a good time doing it.
I think it probably is. I mean, I remember, funny enough, going back to that Reading gig, that I remember what your tour shirts were like at the time, because if I remember right, they were white with pink writing, and I thought, well, that's a bit ambitious.
The one. Yeah. Dave Ling still wears them.
You know, that does not surprise me in the slightest.
No, he had one on. He was at the thing we did at the weekend, the Giants of Rock. There he was. He's always here, Dave. He's brilliant. And he actually had one of those shirts on. I think he must have bought them in bulk in the day.
Oh, probably.
He's still got some new ones tucked away, you know. So no, he's great. He had one on at the weekend. They were good shirts, them actually. We have to bring those back in, you know.
I think they were excellent shirts. I mean, as we said, that lineup of Reading were absolutely fantastic. Well, from what I remember, I remember I probably passed out for probably about a couple of hours from that horrendous scrumpy that was being served in the corner.
Yeah.
But managed to see all the bands that I wanted to, so that was the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those festivals were great, and we did a lot of them back then, you know, and now we've started getting back on the festival circuit again, really. As I say, we've done Download a couple of times. We were lucky enough to do the main stage when AC/DC were headlining, and we did it with Def Leppard when they were headlining that year. So I love doing festivals. It's kind of a different challenge because no sound check, huge crowd, and you're just straight on, thrown at the deep end, get on with it. No matter what the sound's like on stage or anything, you just have to do a good job.
And of course, it's not entirely your fan base, is it? You know, not everybody may be familiar with you or your material.
No, exactly. You know, so you're playing to a lot of people that really have, some that have never heard of you. And I mean, the first time we did Download, we only got it because Rat dropped out at the last minute. So there were a load of Rat fans there expecting Rat, and then we walk on and play That Girl. You know, so we didn't really know what to expect, mate, you know, but we went down great, and it was a fantastic experience, you know, and that's the good thing about them. You just have to, it's a case of getting on there. You've got your 45-minute slot to give it your all and try and steal some of the other band's fans, really.
Indeed.
You know.
Well, it's just nice that there are so many festivals and new festivals starting all the time. It really is I see it as just a really big resurgence in the rock scene.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, I think people are now sort of realising again that a rock band, a really great rock and roll band, are exciting whether it's in a club or an arena, because it's not just about are there 40 dancers behind them and flames and special effects. It's about bands being able to play and sing properly and good songs. And I think people are coming back round to that. And I mean, we're seeing so many sort of young people at the gigs now. It's unbelievable. Like, probably because their parents have told them, you got to go and see this band.
Yes,
but I don't care how we get them.
No.
They're there. You know, you got 19-year-old kids coming up and saying, that was fantastic. And you need that. You need that kind of new wave of fans coming in, as well as all the dedicated old ones. And it just keeps things moving along. So, you know, rock music's back. There's no doubt about it. I mean, to get it played on the radio next to Rihanna, I know it's a funny thing, an FM track, is a great thing because it helped rock music to cross over into the mainstream, you know, and you know, that's what we want to do, really. We just want to be able to get to everybody if we can, and it's going amazingly well, you know, so we as I said, it's so enjoyable at the moment.
Well, Steve, I've taken up more than enough of your time. I'll tell you what, it's been a real pleasure finally getting to have a chat with yourself.
Dan, it's nice to speak to you too.
Hopefully, I'm going to try and catch you on this tour if I can. If not, no doubt you'll probably be back on tour again next year. You guys are always busy, so I will catch you at some point. Looking forward to hearing the new EP. And can I just say thanks ever so much for all the music that you guys have put out over the last almost 30 years. Because I'll tell you what, you know, it's been fantastic, and all the kudos in the world to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thanks for that, and thanks to everybody else for supporting us for all those years. You know, we're having a great time. Just stay with us, you know. And we'll see you soon, hopefully on tour.
Lovely. Thanks, Steve.
See you, Dan. Bye-bye, mate. See you. Bye.